Hello, Adikani. Welcome to the Children's Chimurenga. Thank you for joining me, Rosemary, today. So I think it's time for us to move on. And when I say move on, what I mean is that we've spent the last few videos, pretty much all of them from the beginning of this channel, acknowledging our inner child and acknowledging the pain and the trauma and the suffering that we have accumulated over the course of our lives, and also that our parents, their parents before, their parents before, and the ancestral trauma that has been passed down throughout the ages, and is manifesting in us and in our lives, our thoughts, our behaviors, and what we see around us. Some people will call these things generational curses, but yeah, I feel like, these words that we have such negative attachment to, curses, kuroiwa, all this very heavy negative stuff, is not heavy and negative at all. It's, if we can just shift the way that we perceive it and accept everything as light, accept everything as a growth opportunity, accept everything as perfect for the experience that you need to have as a soul, then you're not pushing things away, calling them curses, being frightened, feeling like you need to run for protection somewhere, wondering what the next bad thing is going to happen. You receive everything and see it as an opportunity. You find sometimes you have to look closely, very closely, but you find the gold, you find the diamond, the pearl, the piece of information that you need to know, and you approach everything from that point of view. And then suddenly you're not suffering anymore. Suddenly you're not pushing away parts of your life or feeling like you're so hard done by or a victim or you can never get out of this, whatever. You just see everything as, okay, level next. This is the next thing that I need to learn. Oh, what? The taps are not working, so I have to go into Cheram Vuraku down the road or whatever. Oh, okay. Level next is me learning how to wake up early and, kujisimbisa or whatever. But you find what it is, the challenge, the growth edge, the opportunity within each presentation, which may be perceived as negative and suffering and a state of pain in with another way of looking at it. So we needed those previous videos to acknowledge that inner child and to acknowledge the part of us that perceives things as pain and suffering, because it's real. We can't pretend and just be like, oh, everything's okay, and we'll get there. But first we have to acknowledge that we do have a part of us that does perceive things as suffering. And we have to be compassionate towards that part. And we have to give it its time and its space to express itself, and to feel sorry for itself. Yes, if you need to get into Magumbezi for a day, do it. Do it and fully do it. Don't even feel guilty. No, do it. Do it and cry, weep. Do what you need to do. Whatever you need to do. Do it, but do it fully so that that part of yourself feels completely acknowledged. Kuti, yes. Yeah, she knows that I'm not enjoying this. She knows that I'm in pain. So you give it its time, fully. Not feeling guilty, not pushing it away, nothing. Fully giving it its time. And then After it's had, because it can't have all the time. It's only a part of you. It's not the whole of you. So it can't take the whole, it can't take the whole cake. It can't take the whole atmosphere. So you give it its slice, okay? And its slice according to the slice of you that it is. Okay, so you get a day. You get a day. You get 2 days, maybe even a week. It depends on what's happened, what's going on. Oh, runny nose. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Did you see what happened there? So I was speaking, and then I got the runny nose. And then I was like, I can't, put a picture of me, wiping my nose or whatever. So I stopped the video and I thought, okay, I'm just going to make the video from the beginning again. But then the connection was kind of lost, and I was really enjoying the flow that we were on. And so now I'm like, oh, okay, so I can't use this video. I'm not really in. And then it's like, girl, you're going to have to learn how to splice a video together. And I'm like, what? So there you go. So, there's a growth edge. And so if you're watching this right now, if you've made it this far, then yes, I have learned how to edit a video, which I have been saying to myself the whole time, no, I'm just going to do all my videos in one take. That's another skill that I do not want to learn. I do not need to learn. I don't want to fancy it up or make it anything entertaining or whatever. Like, it is what it is. The message will get to whoever it needs to get to. And I who knows? I'm open to change. maybe in a year's time, I'm gonna have like pop-ups over here, and I'm gonna have an opening page, and who knows? But for the moment, I like the organic way that it is. But I have had to take the disappointment of, it wasn't huge, but there was a moment of like, oh man, I've lost that. And it's like, well, you've only lost it if you want to have lost it. The other option is to take it to the growth edge and learn a new skill. So thank you for bearing with me. So yes, so we get to these, we find this gold within every experience. And no matter the depth of the pain or the suffering, there is something within it that is pure gold that will then benefit. It will just shower on the rest of your life if you have the courage and the determination and the self-love and the self-knowledge and the trust and the belief to know that you can go and find it. So I thank you all, and I thank myself, and I thank everyone, all the beings, all the ancestors, all of the universe for supporting us in this journey. And we thank those parts of us, those suffering parts, those parts that are in pain, that are hanging on, that can't make head or tail of things. We thank them for being the pressure cooker in which these precious metals are formed. There's something called alchemy. I didn't realize, when I read the book The Alchemist as a child, and people speak about alchemy, where these people, mainly in ancient times, would try and form non-precious metals into precious metals. And I thought it was just some kind of crazy scientific experiment, but actually it is a metaphysical, spiritual process within yourself, where we are transmuting our non-precious heavy metals, our heaviness, our deadness, all the putrefying, rotten, disgusting stuff that you would never want anyone to know about you. You know the stuff? That stuff. And alchemizing it, finding the gold within it, pressure cooking it, so that it comes out as gold. And we all have that in us. That's why we've got all this density and this heavy carbon-based body that we try to push away, and yet it is the key. This beautiful body that we think is so dirty and so wrong and we need to hide it and so shameful and does these things that, it takes us over, and then we have to go and, confess about it. No, this is a beautiful, oh man, I'm glad I've got these new editing skills. I'm so sorry about the interruption, but I'm going to keep going with this video because there is something here, and so I can't, I just have to. So this body is the key to the universe. This body is the key to everything, every answer that we have been looking for. It is the solution. So if we can firstly learn to love ourselves, everything, warts and all, and receive everything as a necessary part on the path to our emancipation, to our liberation, then as soon as we do that, everything has changed. And it's like, okay, am I up for the challenge now? And so this is the part at which we have to move on. So we've acknowledged the child. We've given it its time. We have spent a week in bed. But it only gets a week. It only gets a day. It only gets a certain amount of time that is proportionate to who it is within you, because you have other parts in you. You have parts that want adventure. You have parts that want fun. You have parts that want to laugh. You have parts that want to experience. You have parts that want to socialize. You have parts that want to create. So it cannot take up all of the space, and neither can all of these. But they all need to be given kanjimbokao, their little space for that time. But they can't have all the time. So that means at some point you have to get out of bed. You have to get out of bed and say, okay, what's next? What am I going to create next? What am I going to do with this useful information, this manure that this part of me has given me? Can I now take it kumunda and get myself a bumper crop? Because every munda needs fertilizer. It needs manure. Manure is organic, by the way. So you have this manure. We have this manure within us. This precious manure. Literally, yes. What are we going to fertilize with it? What is going to grow up out of it? Can you believe this was? Do you remember where this started? That's what we end up asking ourselves. Have you ever had that experience where you look back and you say, wow, I can't believe this is what came out of that. We have the opportunity to make this out of that all the time. All the time. So the question is, are you ready to get your driving license? Are you ready to be in the driver's seat? Because when your self-energy is in the driver's seat, then it acknowledges all these parts and gives them kanjimbokao. It gives them the space that they need at the appropriate time. But it is the conductor. It is the coordinator of all the different parts, as opposed to just one going crazy, especially that little child, the 2-year-old, who was ignored and now suddenly has, a bit of money to be able to go and buy as many sweets as it like, but its sweets happens to be Jack Daniels now. and it is eating all the sweets, but doing nothing else. And self-energy can say, dear, yeah, wambona kitswa. Yes, yes. And you needed to do that, yes. But, oh, look, there's somebody else here who wants to have a turn in the driver's seat. So, you hop in the back. I'm staying here in the passenger seat because I'm the conductor. I'm the backseat driver. The self-energy, but really the driver. But now the creative one is coming on board. Maybe you can even contribute to the creative one. Maybe you can whisper in their ear from the back and say, yeah, remember that time. Yeah, maybe you can add a little bit of this, here, or add a little bit of inspiration from there. And suddenly, the whole team of you, all the different parts of you, are contributing to a more direct, focused, creative, potential seeing, happy, fruitful, impactful being. You're not lying in bed anymore, drinking Jack Daniels for a week with the covers, under the covers. No. You are the driver. You are fulfilling your potential. You are knowing that you have potential to fulfill, and you are no longer allowing yourself kuti ukurirwe. You're not a victim anymore, but a creator. And a creator who acknowledges all the different parts of you. So, I've got some skills to learn. I have to try and put this video together. And then we can talk a little bit more about being in the driver's seat. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye-bye.